Welcome back to Red Business in Focus with thanks to Cork's local enterprise offices, where we're meeting the entrepreneurs behind Cork's ambitious businesses every single week. And this week we're joined by Conor Hyde of Hyde Irish Whiskey. Today, Hyde Irish Whiskey exports 23 different Irish whiskey expressions to over 65 export markets. Conor is also going to talk to us about the Grad Start programme with local enterprise offices and how it supported business growth and development for them. Conor, you are very welcome, and you have brought an abundance of gifts and things to explain about whiskey. We're going to get into all of that in just a minute.
Good.
But I've kind of given a very top line view there. Tell us a little bit more about the company. You have 30 seconds. What do you do?
Okay, what we do is we're bonders. So we age whiskey in wood. So bonding whiskey is a very long tradition in Ireland, where you take whiskey off the still that looks like this and you put it into wooden casks, and it becomes beautiful, delicious whiskey after 3 years with the colour and that. So our tagline in our company is it's all about the wood, because we look after the wood management.
Right, okay. So, I mean, people just think whiskey is just, a thing that magically happens, but there's a remarkable process. First thing, it comes out clear out of the still.
It comes out clear, so it looks like vodka when it comes out of the still. A lot of people don't realise that that's whiskey when it comes off the still. So it's really undrinkable and not very pleasant. It's poaching, basically, when it comes off the still. But after 3 years in the cask, the whiskey moves in and out of the wood every day as it gets warm and cold, and that process of the liquid moving in and out of the wood gives you that beautiful colour and taste that you get.
Does that mean the taste that we have in Irish whiskey is actually the taste of the wood?
It is absolutely. 80% of the taste of any whiskey is as a result of the wood.
Wow, okay. Yeah. I never knew that.
Yeah, so
you can see that you have a long history in this as well.
We're a long time doing it.
Yeah, and you brought in this device here as well,
yeah,
which I didn't know what it was. It's kind of a tap.
Yeah, so anyone who's from West Cork would know our family as being the Hyde pub from outside Bandon in West Cork in Tinker's Cross, and for 10 generations our family have been there since 1640, and we would have been well known for aging and selling good whiskey in the pub. And this was a tap that would have been used. This is hundreds of years old, handed down to our family, but you would have had the wooden cask, and you would have tapped the wooden cask with this, with a mallet, and literally poured the whiskey from the cask.
Wow.
And served it over the pub.
So that's kind of straight almost from the well,
from the cask, and,
yeah.
and that's the way it was done up to over 100 years ago.
So the different types of whiskey that you have now, is that all down to different types of wood? And how do you decide this is what we're going to go with this whiskey, and this is the taste we're aiming for here?
Well, we started with one whiskey 10 years ago, and we intended to only have 1 or 2 whiskies. But then as we went into new markets, people asked for different wood types and different flavours. So now we do rum cask, we do sherry cask, we do port cask, we do red wine cask. So each cask has a different influence on the final whiskey taste. So we source casks from all over the world, and we put the whiskey into it, and we get a different flavour result each time. And each market prefers a different flavour. So the French, for instance, love red wine cask from France because they like to support the French. And we'd use a German cask in Germany, or we'd often use an American cask for the American market.
I mean, people think one size fits all. It really isn't the case. And I'd imagine your company wouldn't be half as innovative if it wasn't for the idea of someone coming to you going, I wonder what this cask would taste like.
Exactly. So we'd get requests often for what are called single casks, where somebody would come to us from a market in Greece, and they'd say, we have a lovely red wine cask in Greece, will you put your whiskey into it and age it in that cask to give us a unique Greek Irish whiskey taste? And we do that. We do single casks as well as some of our mainstream lines with the bourbon cask.
It's fascinating. I have to say, I never thought about the process of making whiskey before, which is, that's a poor reflection on me or a poor reflection on whiskey makers. Yeah. You did get, we mentioned the Grad Start programme. So what support did you get from the local enterprise office in relation to that?
We're very thankful for the local enterprise office supports they've given us. They've given us many supports over the years since we started in 2014. But one of them was the Grad Start, where you hire a graduate from college and you get support of 50% of their wage over 2 years. So for a small company like us, it's crucially important for cash flow to be able to get that support from the local enterprise office. Otherwise, you couldn't hire a new graduate.
One of the things, of course, when you hire a graduate like that, you're taking a bit of a punt, but by the sounds of it, your graduate worked out really well for you.
They did. So the graduate can do many different roles in the company when you're a small company, but we would have used them to do market research and look into potential distribution into new markets and the day-to-day work that you can't do yourself when you're a small business.
And when it comes to exporting and getting the product right around the world, you take every little bit of help that you can get.
Yeah,
but
every little bit.
you've gotten some good support over the years.
We've got great. I mean, we've had to help with our website, the Trading Online voucher. We've had help with grant aid towards marketing and going to trade shows abroad with the TAME voucher. It's a technical assistance grant for small exporters. So there's lots and lots of support from the local enterprise office if people just go talk to them. And my view is if the grant aid is there, you should go seek it out and get it because they want to give it out. So it's up to us as businesses to go and hunt for it and ask them.
You strike me as an artist, and I mean that as a compliment, purely because the way you describe how you do it, even the presentation of the whiskey, you can see it there sitting on top of this beautiful stand. I mean, you're not just throwing it out in a box on a shelf here. This for you is art.
It is. I mean, the presentation is everything when it comes to a good brand. So how you look is how you're going to be perceived. So we source as much as we can in Ireland. For instance, those plinths that you see there, they're handmade by rustic wood up in Galway by a small little carpenter up there. So and obviously we consider what we do with the wood is artistry. Sometimes we describe what we do as taking a blank canvas of fresh new make whiskey and using the wood to create something new and totally different. So we are a bit like the wood masters, we call ourselves.
It's absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much. Every day is a learning day on Red Business in Focus, and this was definitely one of those. I'll never look at other whiskies ever again without comparing them to yours. So thank you so much for coming in. What's the website if people want to look it up?
Hydewhiskey.ie.
Conor Hyde, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of Red Business in Focus. Join us next week when we're going to be getting stylish advice from Martina O'Crooley from Clonakilty. She's going to fill us in on the green success story that her salon has turned into. That's next time on Red Business in Focus, with thanks to Cork's local enterprise offices.